everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Galang Arya Pratama with Azhar N233400019. So I am a student at University of Muhammadiyah Metro, majoring English Education Department, and I want to make this video to fulfill last assignment with the courses is Forensic Linguistics. And today I would like to give you some knowledge about the forensic linguistic courses. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, hello everyone. Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about presupposition in forensic linguistics using a real example from courtroom interaction transcript. This topic is important because when we talk about law, we often focus only on rules, evidence, and punishment. But what we usually forget is the law is communicated through language, and the language is never natural. In court, people do not only exchange information, they also build assumptions, create meaning, and shape how reality is understood. One of the most powerful linguistic tools that doesn't is called presupposition. So, in this video, I will explain what is forensic linguistics is, what presupposition means, and how presupposition work in court through three perspectives. First, language as a law, and then the second one is language in legal process, and last one is language as legal evidence. Okay, first let's talk about forensic linguistics. So what is forensic linguistics? Forensic linguistics is the study of language in legal context. According to Gibbons 2003, forensic linguistics analyzes how language is used in first, law and legal documents, second, courtroom interaction, third, policy interviews, and the last one, language used as evidence in trials. And the key idea here is simple, because why? Language is in law is powerful. Even when the judge or lawyer sounds polite, casual, and friendly, their words still, first, carry authority, shape interpretation, and influence legal outcomes. So, in forensic linguistics, we do not ask, is this sentence grammatically correct? No, we're not asking about that. Instead, we ask about what does this sentence do in this legal situation. Now, let's move to presupposition. Presupposition is a part of pragmatic. It refers to information that is assumed to be true, no directly stated than usual, not questioned. Stalnaker, 1974, explained presupposition as background information that speaker treat as part of the common ground. Common ground means that shared knowledge that everyone is accepted to accept. For example, if someone asks, "Why did you stop studying?" By the question already assumed that the person stopped studying. So, Levison, 1983, explained why presupposition is powerful. He said that presupposition often survive denial. Even if someone tries to reject the statement, the assumption stay in the conversation. In everyday life, this already matters, but in court, this becomes very serious. So, why presupposition is important in courtroom? Because first, in courtroom, fact can be questioned, story can be challenged, and the people's life can be affected. That's the reason why the presupposition in courtroom is really important. And presupposition allow the judge or lawyer to first, treat assumption as fact, second, control what can be discussed, third, and limit how defendant respond. This is exactly why presupposition analysis is important in forensic linguistics. Okay, now we move to important part. Presupposition in language of the law. The first perspective is language of the law. Usually, language of the law refers to right text like laws or court decision. But courtroom speech also become legal language when it happens inside a legal institute and procedure legal consequences. Let's look at this example from the transcript. She has 9 violations, 9 red lines, and speeding. This sentence contains an existential presupposition. It assumes that the violation already exists, and the number 9 is correct and not disputed. According to Stalnaker, 1974, the judgment treats this information as shared knowledge, not something that needs to be proven again. From a forensic linguistic point of view, this is important because the defendant is already positioning as guilty, and the conversation moves away from questioning fact. Instead of asking, did you actually commit that violation? The court moved to, why did you do this? This shows how legal authority is built through language, not just through law books. And then the second perspective is language in legal process, especially questioning in court. Now look at this example. Why would you go through 9 red lines? This sentence contains a structural presupposition. Levison 1983 explained that why question automatically contain assumption. This question assumes that the defendant went through 9 red lines, and only the reason is important. Because of the structure of the question, denying the action becomes difficult. If the defendant answers normally, she directly accepts the assumption. In this court, this means the judgment controls the topic. The defendant have limited freedom to tell their story, and the testimony is shaped by institutional power. This is why courtroom questioning is not natural. Then the third perspective is language as legal evidence. Here, language itself influences the judgment. Look at this sentence. I can understand you going through some difficulty in life. This contains factive presupposition. According to Yulee 1996, verbs like understand assume that the information is true. This sentence assumes that the defendant is truly facing hardship. Once the judge says this, the assumption becomes part of the common ground. According to Stalnaker 1974, accepted presupposition guiding future decision. In this case, language legitimizes the defendant's story, create empathy, and affect sentences. So, language here works like evidence, even though no facts are directly proven. Okay, by this video, based on Yulee 1996 and Levison 1983, we can find first, existential presupposition, 2 factive presupposition, 3 lexical presupposition, 4 structural presupposition, and the last one, the weak counterfactual presupposition. This shows that the courtroom meaning is often implicit, not explicit. And the last one, this is also the most important thing that we need to remember. First is courtroom language do not only describe reality, it creates reality. Presupposition can limit defendant unfairly or support them through empathy. But if legal outcome depend too much on language and not enough on fact, this becomes dangerous. This is why forensic linguistics matter. It helps us see how the justice is shaped not only by law, but by how language is used. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching until the end. I think that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.